I hate microphones. Hallo, bienvenue, guten Abend. Ich habe eine erste Frage, eine sehr wichtige. Da wir in Französisch, Deutsch und Englisch, German und Englisch gearbeitet haben, comme nous avons travaillé en allemand, en français et en anglais, est-ce qu'il y a des personnes qui ne parlent absolument pas anglais ici? Je ne vois rien. Yes. We decided to talk English when we are doing just communication work, like presenting the evening. So it's easier for everyone, and I don't have to translate everything into languages, which I love. And so thank you for being here and to experiment with us this evening. Tonight we'll take you through the thing we tried, experienced, learned in the last 3 days. We started with a simple question. How do we write in those post-patriarchal times? Actually, we did like the Japanese with the language. We just circled the center without reaching it. One of the reasons was that we may think that things have changed through Me Too, through wokeism, feminism, but has it really changed? We, as aware writers who know better, we are still fighting in our daily practice with our own judgment on how we are, we are in our daily practice with our own judgment of how we will be judged. We are still searching for our voices, for a way of writing I, ich, je, without lying. We still in a way follow the rules of what literature and writing should be. And to do so, we developed a lot of tricks and layers of identity. So the first day, because it was just a 3-day workshop, the first day we laid on the table all we had and started to lose our language, not just metaphorically, literally. We were speaking all the time 3 different languages, so it was pretty messed up in our head after 2 hours. We piled out a lot of rules we could use to build this new language, and each one of us used the one which could match with the state we were in. Radical feminism, non-binary, reflection of the subject, etc. And we started to write monologues of the new vagina that you will discover in its raw form today. The first day was pretty much to get in a fight with our own grammar, if I may say. The second day we met to grab a space in order to grab our words. We trained a mouth, our butt. We let grow wings in our back, shouted, and started to write with 4 and 16 ends. On the wall on the left, if someone put lights on it, we created a cluster that you could look at later. A cluster is a way to build unconscious paths between words. You start with a word like femme, that was our word, Frauen, woman, and you let all the words that are coming to your mind and go on with those words and do the same. Normally, a cluster is something you use to make a reflection of one mind. Because we did it with 4 persons, 4 persons were engaged in it, it reflects the queer principle that power is a number and non-intimate is third. In the afternoon, we made our first experience of booty therapy with Maïmouna. And literally, we let everything go. Boundaries, walls, rage. In this state of mind and body awareness, we paired around the theme, what's in the name, and explored through an interesting dispositive the mechanism of who is watching and who is being looked at. It was for us an amazing experience of not judging, but simply giving. And we're really looking to see how you react to this experience. We are opening tonight a 4th month of series of workshops and performance and a lot more around what makes literature in Berlin so special, Berlin inclusive. Look at the program from Lechat, this is großartig, and I'm really enjoying to see the next one. This is in 2 weeks, 1 week. 23rd? 23rd is richtig? 23rd. It's about aging for women writers, something I almost know. So a few advice and info for tonight. Chloé Lechat was announced and is not with us. That's why I had to write too. I wasn't supposed to write, but I'm one of the writers for family reason, and we think of her, and we really hope we could work with her and go along with this process in a very nahe Zukunft. That's a little bit how we talk all the time. Oh, yeah, pretty much. Don't be surprised tonight if French, English, and German are being matched up. It's a language which grows between us. We also made the choice not to translate the text. For each experiment, there is already multiple languages, and if you don't understand the language, we will ask you to let yourself just be carried by the nonverbal communication in it. And after the representation, they will be on stage. We will be on stage to discuss and see how we worked and how you react to it. It's really interesting because it's a workshop. It's just it's a process. It's not a result, what you see. It's raw, it's yet, and tomorrow it's going to be something else. In the meantime, please be loud and a big applause for the authors, Jayrôme Robinet, Maïmouna Coulibaly und Saskia Nitsche.
Mein Name wird Saskia sein. Meine Mutter wird ihn aus 2 Gründen auswählen. Zum einen, weil sie in der Schule eine Klassenkameradin haben wird, die so heißen wird, und ihr wird der Name immer gefallen. Und Rembrandts Frau wird auch Saskia heißen. Mein Vater wird mich Fabienne nennen wollen. Wenn ich ein Junge werde, werde ich den Namen Adrien bekommen. Immer, wenn meine Mutter mir das erzählen wird, werde ich mich mit Fabienne identifizieren können. Ich werde ihn weicher finden, auch mit Adrien. Aber Mit Saskia nicht so sehr. Ich werde ihn zu hart finden. Wenn ich Wörter oder Buchstaben hören werde, werde ich Farben sehen. Und der Name Saskia wird gelb-oker-braun sein. Das wird mich auch immer stören. Ich werde anfangen, Fabienne zu verwenden, wenn ich meinen eigenen Vornamen nicht werde benutzen wollen. Zum Beispiel bei OkCupid. Mit Saskia werden Menschen mich googeln können. Also werde ich Fabienne nutzen und das wird sich organischer anfühlen. Manchmal werde ich den Eindruck haben, dass meine Mutter mehr Macht haben wird und dass ich meinem Vater mehr Raum geben möchte. Aber ich werde ein zwiespältiges Verhältnis zu meinem Vater haben. Ich werde mit der Idee spielen, den Vornamen Fabienne offiziell eintragen zu lassen, so als Doppelname. Ich werde den Namen Fabienne hören und er wird blaue Töne haben. Manchmal werde ich mich fragen, wer wäre ich, wenn ich Fabienne hieße? AmerikanerInnen werden Saskia nicht aussprechen können. Andere werden Komplimente zu Saskia machen, werden mehr Bezug zu meinem eigenen Vornamen haben als ich, wird es scheinen. Wird das immer so mit dem Namen sein, der uns zugeschrieben wird? Saskia wird wie ein fremdes Tier für mich sein, das sich mir nie ganz erschließen wird.
Monte le son, Maïmouna. Fais l'éther. Monte le son, sœur de. Fais l'éther. Ou tais-toi. Coulibaly au dehors. Au dedans, Maïmouna. Regarde Claude François et danse. En cachette. Coulibaly ne danse pas. Mais Maïmouna s'enroule de paillettes. La violence glisse sur son corps. Fille d'une mère et d'un père, sœur de 8 sœurs et d'un frère. Tu les maternes. Sèche tes larmes de mère, fille de Coulibaly, roi de l'autre côté de la mer. Fille de Soninké, tu descends le torrent sanglant de tes consonnes. Coulibaly, tu renais au-dedans, dompte les consonnes. Dans ta bouche roule ton torrent. Suis tes règles de Maïmouna que tu as trempé dans ton sang. Monte le son dans ta chapelle pour couvrir ton cri. Entourée de guerrières, tu soignes les guérissures. Mère et guerrière, fille de Soninké, à la tête de ton armée, ton nom coule au Mali, à Paris, ici. Danse sur les toits du monde. Dans ton nom, à présent, coule ta danse.
Ich werde den Namen Jayrôme kontinuierlich tragen. Zuvor werde ich ein paar Jahre damit experimentieren als Drag King. Irgendwann aber werde ich beschließen, dass er ein Rufname wird. Es wird schön sein, das Aussuchen des Namens. Ich werde Listen suchen und laut vorlesen. Wie fühlt es sich an, wenn ich Christophe, Patrick, Laurence sagen werde? Ich werde überlegen müssen, soll es ein französischer Name sein oder ein italienischer, weil meine Großeltern Italienerinnen gewesen sein werden. Ich werde mit Bruno experimentieren, dem Namen meines Lieblingsonkels, dem ich gerne eine Hommage verleihen werde. Zu der Zeit wird es jedoch auch einen Film geben, Bruno, von einem US-amerikanischen Komiker. Er geht durch die USA und verhält sich völlig daneben. Er möchte zeigen, wie homofeindlich die Gesellschaft ist, denn er ist sehr selbstverständlich eine Tunte. Aber ich werde den Bruno aus dem Film unsympathisch finden. Ich werde den Namen Bruno deshalb nicht tragen wollen. Mein früherer Vorname wird Céline gewesen sein. Ich werde darüber nachdenken, Selim zu heißen, aber das würde kulturelle Aneignung sein. Ich werde noch immer diese Liste von Vornamen bei mir haben. Thibaut, Vincent, Denis, Gérald, Alex. Keiner der Namen wird etwas in meinem Körper auslösen oder die Namen werden bereits besetzt sein. Bei Jayrôme, dem Namen meines Lieblingscousins, werde ich etwas spüren. Ich werde überlegen, ob ich Jayrôme wie üblich schreiben solle. Jayrôme oder werde ich mich fragen, eine eigene Schreibweise finden? 2010 werde ich in San Francisco sein. Dort werden sie Schwierigkeiten haben, Jayrôme auszusprechen. Ich werde sagen, nennt mich Jay. Jay mit Y. Es wird etwas unüblich sein, aber immerhin wird sich der Name vom Namen meines Cousins unterscheiden. Er wird weiterhin seinen Namen haben und ich werde meinen Namen haben. Da wird die Frage sein, ob der alte Name noch sichtbar sein soll. Ich werde mich entscheiden, dass ich ihn abkürzen werde mit C. Das wird eine Möglichkeit sein, die Vergangenheit verschlüsselt zu zeigen. Am Anfang wird es schön sein, wenn mich Menschen so nennen werden, Jayrôme. Da wird ein warmes Gefühl im Körper sein und ein Gefühl des Ankommens. Da wird Dankbarkeit sein. Insbesondere am Anfang, wenn ich noch kein Testo nehme, wird es bemerkenswert für mich sein, dass andere sich darauf einlassen werden. Ich werde dankbar sein.
Delphine 2 Stutz de Stutz oder de Stutz. À ses 11 ans, c'était Belpine de Stouche, 3 stripotes, comme a su si bien l'appeler son copain de classe du même âge. Elle attrape une raquette, il finit à l'hôpital. Franco-suisse, né à Évian, en Haute-Savoie, grandit à Thenon, 29 km de Genève, dans une sœurie de sœurs. 2 filles, dont Lily, se transforme en Joe. Delphine de Stutz, Stutz, née un 10 septembre, exactement 300 ans après le raccrochement du 2, anoblissant la famille pour la grande joie de l'ignoble grand-père. Adulé encore aujourd'hui, quand Delphine retourne signer son premier livre dans sa ville d'origine. Delphine de Stuttsaï. Saï de Stutz oder Saï de Stuttsaï oder SS oder. Mais c'est bien de couper les lignes du sang pour empêcher de faire payer ce qui a pu se passer avant. Delphine, en multiples talents, se retrouve seulement quand elle est entre la France et l'Allemagne, entre la mère et la femme, entre l'écriture et le leadership, mais surtout quand elle entre dans l'antre de sa grotte pour sortir sa puissance organique. Delphine ne veut pas prendre le nom de son mari et est rassurée que le sien s'éteigne bientôt. Oublier son nom permet de faire table rase et de tout recommencer. Delphine de Delphine, la fine et digne représentante des puputes battantes, a d'autres armes que son nom pour nous électriser. Des applaudissements pour Betty, s'il vous plaît. Des applaudissements pour Betty, s'il vous plaît. Non, si je recommence, c'est parce que vous devez mettre plus d'énergie, plus de joie, Non, mais cette personne est incroyable. Hein. On l'a eu pendant les 3 jours et c'était superbe. Donc, s'il vous plaît, faites hommage à cette personne. Des applaudissements pour Betty, s'il vous plaît. Ok, très bien. Ça commence à venir. Merci beaucoup. Ok, merci Betty. Donc, en fait, j'aimerais juste que vous tapiez dans les mains, mais en rythme. Hein. D'accord. Donc, j'ai mes feuilles. Et puis j'ai le micro, je ne peux pas tout faire en même temps. Donc, vous voyez ce que je veux dire. Attention, juste taper des mains, attention. Tout le monde. Everyone. Yeah. Oh, merci. Une. Oh, mon Dieu. Ok, stop. S'il vous plaît. Donc, en fait, les applaudissements... Enfin, c'était bien parti. C'était très bien parti. Et après, on s'endormait un petit peu. Et j'ai eu 2 personnes qui m'ont fait « Merci beaucoup. Merci par là-bas aussi. J'aimerais entendre tout le monde dire « Tout le monde. OK. Everybody. In German, comment vous dites? Alle zusammen. OK. Attention. Donc, on va dire juste « Attention. 5, 6, 7. Non, vous connaissez pas ce compte, c'est pas grave. Attention. 1, 2, 3. Pas mal. C'est vrai que mon départ, il est pas terrible. Attendez. 1, 2, 3. Non, attendez. Non, attends. Alors, en danse, en fait, on compte jusqu'à 8. Donc, je vais dire 5, 6, 7, 8. OK, on y va. Attention. 5, 6, 7, 8. C'était pas mal parce que ça commence... Enfin, le rythme était là, mais ça commençait par... Je suis pas sûre que c'est là, donc... Ok, le dernier, je l'ai bien entendu, mais dès le départ, pam, soyez sûrs de vous. Attention, on parle de puissance ce soir. 5, 6, 7, 8, Ah, pas mal. Ok. Alors, on va dire que les personnes qui sont par là, vous allez me faire un rythme. C'est pas forcément parce que j'ai vu que c'était pas forcément. Ok. Balance un rythme. Balance, bring a rhythm. Propose something, please. I want you to propose something like ta, 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 or I don't know. Okay, a rhythm. Okay? 5, 6. Oh, ah. Ta, ta, ta. Ta, all of you. Follow him. Ta. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. No. Are you a musician? Or, yeah, okay. No, something simple, please, because they have to follow you. Okay. Just that? Okay. No! Okay, I will need you. Okay, I'm going to do it fast. Now, I want you to do that with your voice. So, the basic. Yeah? Go. Follow him. More passion. More. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Please. Hey, I'm not finished. Okay, so you are going to propose another rhythm for them. So when you will do they will have to do another rhythm. Okay? So what can they do when they are doing? So keep doing and then you in the middle, you will be the last group, but you in the middle, you will follow his second rhythm. So you go with louder, please. Plus fort. Eh. Un. Ok, stop. Non, ok. Donc, en fait, pour que ça fonctionne, il faut que tout le monde participe. Il y a des personnes qui sont assises là et qui regardent juste, c'est pas possible. Tout le monde participe. Donc, on a le 1. On a le 1. And for the last group, can you say something else? Ok. So, you have to start. Ok, attention. Eh. Eh. Un. Louder, plus fort. Tout le monde, plus fort. Ok. Merci. Plus fort. Louder. Plus fort. Ok. Merci beaucoup. Okay, we are going to do the same thing, but not in the way we are going to die right now. In the way that we are alive. In the way that we have power. In the way that we are here. In the way that we are what we are. Okay? So I need more energy. I need more passion. I need more... You see what I mean? Yes or no? No, you don't see what I mean? You see? You don't see? Yeah, you don't want to do it. Can you help her to do it? Okay. Louder, everyone. So we start here. Then, pam. Attention. Eh. No. Yeah. I would prefer, I don't know, with something that you're breathing. Ah, 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 ah. Okay, please. Okay, attention. 5, 6, 7, 8 et... Yeah! Eh! Yeah! Pardon? David? Eh! Okay. Plus fort, plus fort, plus fort. Plus fort! Ah! Eh! 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 Plus fort! Allez! Allez! Ok? Ok, bien, très bien, très bien. Okay. The last round, give everything. Okay. The last round, so we'll do the same thing. 1, 1. Je me souviens plus. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay? And then I will say to you to stop and to change. And you will just say, this is my power. Okay? And then I will come to you and doing this, and you will change. I will do it with you, and you will say, this is my power. But you will have to do your 1. You will have to do your 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay? And then I will come to you. Okay. I don't know. Where is your power? Can you say to me, where is your power? Where is your power? In your body. Here. Can you say to me where can be your power? Germanie, s'il vous plaît. Pardon, une réponse seulement, s'il vous plaît. Le cerveau? La puissance, elle est là? Ok. On a le cerveau. Quoi d'autre? Les mains. Ok. Quoi d'autre? L'estomac. Et quoi d'autre? Le ventre. La bouche. Quoi d'autre? Pardon? Si quelqu'un peut me traduire. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a dit? Elle a dit quoi? Le diaphragme. Ok. Yeah. Quoi d'autre? Ah, on commence à aller dans les trucs qui m'intéressent. Ok, les fesses. Quoi d'autre? Les pieds. Ouais. Quoi d'autre? Bon, je vais enchaîner. Hein. Pour moi, c'est là. Pour moi, personnellement. Mais comme vous dites, ça peut être la bouche, ça peut être la tête, comme vous voulez. Les fesses, j'aime bien aussi. Mais surtout là. Alors, mais c'est là d'où vous voulez. Et donc, en fait, vous allez soit faire votre rythme, soit chanter « This is my power ». Ok? On commence avec le rythme, et quand je fais ça à un groupe, juste suivez-moi. Attention. 5, 6, 7, 8 et... 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 This is my power. This is my power. This is my power. This is my power. Ah, this is my power. Ha, this is my power. Ha, this is my power. This is my power. Ha, this is my power. Ha, this is my power. Ha, this is my power. Ah, 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 this is my power. All together. This is my power. This is my power. Ha! This is my power. Ha!
This is my power. Ha! This is my power.
Your hand.
This is my power. Ha! This is my power. Ha! This is my power. Ha!
Oh, merci.
My power. Ha! This is 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 my power. Ha!
This is my power.
Ha! This is my power. Ha! This is my power. Ha! This is my power.
Hey!
So we're going to talk about the new power, the vagina. So you know probably the vagina's monologue, les monologues du vagin, die Monolog des, on appelle ça en allemand, der Vagina monologue. Vagina. Yeah, it was an invitation from Jayrôme, to work on the new vagina. Let's go. Urs? Ja, Uschi? Urs? Ja, Muschi. Urs, sag mal. Sag mal was, Mumu. Kennst du die Vulva? Wer? Ich auch nicht. Urs? Urs? Was denn? Denkst du, sie ist schön? Wer, Muschi? Die Vulva? Uschi? Was, Schatz? Wer ist diese Vulva? Ich weiß nicht, Urs. Ich weiß nicht. Warum willst du sie sehen dann? Die Nachbarin hat gesagt, ich musste sie pflegen. Findet sie und gießt sie dann. Es ist das Ding, sie hat auch gesagt, sie braucht viel Flüssigkeit, aber nicht von mir. Was für ein Nonsens. Komm schlafen, Uschi. Aber wenn ich die Vulva wäre, Urs, du bist aber keine Blume. Wenn ich mich pflegen sollte, geh zum Friseur. Ich meine wirklich. Ich mag dich, wie du bist. Urs? Verdammt, Uschi! Nur eine Sache. Ich will schlafen. Und schlafen. Vielleicht bist du auch eine Vulva, die gepflegt und gegossen sei. Uschi, es macht keinen Sinn. Aber warum? Weil dafür habe ich meine Muschi. Komm her. Oh, Urs, du schöne Vulva, du. Trotzdem, es wäre schön, sie zu kennen. Urs? Oh, Urs? Urs? Urs! Oh, du schläfst. Schlaf auch du. Schöne Vulva. Bis bald.
Bonsoir. Je suis le vagin de votre voisine de siège. Je suis la chatte de la femme dans le tram. Je suis la chatte qui en a été une, mais qui n'en est plus. Je serai le vagin qui vous rappellera votre mère. Je suis désolée. Je suis le vagin qui travaille au 13e étage d'un immeuble de banque. Je suis le vagin qui s'est enflammé et que nous devons reconstruire aujourd'hui. Je suis la chatte en matière synthétique. Je n'ai pas de corps. On dit qu'en fait, un corps m'appartient. Je n'en ai pas. Je suis Gina, la chatte à laquelle on a donné un nom, Je n'ai pas mon nom. Excusez-moi, vous avez donné un nom à la vôtre? Savez-vous s'il est possible de faire une demande, de changer de nom? Cela m'aidera beaucoup, beaucoup. Je suis un peu mal à l'aise de m'appeler Gina. Juste un tout petit peu, mais une demande serait une belle opportunité. Si vous pouviez me le dire rapidement, ce serait très gentil. Je suis le vagin qui a été écarté avec un instrument métallique. J'ai gardé des traumatismes. Je suis le vagin qui a été mis à la honte. Je suis...
Oh, toi, mon vagin, ma vagine, ma copine. Combien de fois m'auras-tu autant surprise par tes multiples fonctions antidestructrices qui font que tout mon cœur entier t'appelle héroïne. Ta sœur, la clitoris, a été découpée. Ta cousine, l'utérus, a été ablatée. Ta fuite de tous les rouges a jamais arrêté. Ta plaisir intense ne fait que se décupler. Tu me fais être moi, avec une nouvelle voix. Mes avis plus tranchés, tout le monde se les reçoit. Ce tunnel vers le bonheur jamais ne me déçoit. J'ai qu'un cri dans la gorge qui fait waouh, rien que pour toi.
C'est une chatte. Une chatte. Une chatte qui provoque l'étonnement. Une chatte qui entend ce que les gens disent sur lui. Oh, il l'entend très bien. Il sait parfaitement ce que les gens pensent, qu'un homme, un vrai, un homme digne de ce nom, un mec, un vagin, une lopette, une poussie, poule, pie, dinde, bécasse. C'est un vagin qui a honte, qui se la ferme. Mais parfois, petite chatte arrache le sens des mots comme un sparadrap. Elle dit « I'm a boy hole, I'm a front hole, I'm an inner cock ». Elle dit « Je te touche les mains, je me touche tes mains, je suis un chatte viril, un vagin de mec, un vagin qui adore baiser. » Un vagin qui pénètre, qui se t'introduit, qui se te rentre en lui. Une bite intérieure, une chatte qui te fait palpiter le cœur dans ta langue.
Die Vagina sieht ihr Gesehensein. Gesehen wurde eine Schamlippe. Sieht ihr Gewordensein. Falten sind zu Schamlippen gelegt worden. Es sind äußere und innere Schamlippen gelegt worden. Haut wurde zu Schamlippen gefaltet, zu Scham gelegt. Eine Vagina ist aus Schamlippen gefaltet worden. Ich sehe ein Vaginum. Ich habe es aus Hautfalten 4 Schamlippen zu einem Vaginum gelegt. Das Vaginum sieht sein Gesehensein. Gesehen wurde eine Schamlippe. Sieht sein Gewordensein. Falten sind zu Schamlippen gelegt worden. Es sind äußere und innere Schamlippen gelegt worden. Haut wurde zu Schamlippen gefaltet, zu Scham gelegt. Ein Vaginum ist aus Schamlippen gefaltet worden. Ich sehe ein Vagin. Ich habe es aus Hautfalten 4 Schamlippen zu einem Vagin gelegt. Vagin sieht das Gesehensein. Gesehen wurde eine Schamlippe, sieht das Gewordensein. Falten sind zu Schamlippen gelegt worden. Es sind äußere und innere Schamlippen gelegt worden. Haut wurde zu Schamlippen gefaltet, zu Scham gelegt. Vagin ist aus Schamlippen gefaltet worden.
Naweya. Nkelanta ke konenkrane. But it's so powerful and intensively moving. Olanta Kenkrili. And it has so many powerful possibilities. From your birth until your death, it's evaluating. Huge to thin, from smooth to hairy. It's in a perpetual motion. Nkelanta ke kone nkrane. But it's so powerful and intensively moving. Olanta ke nkrele. And it has so many powerful possibilities. From that kind of white pink, it changes tones from red to its brightest. It goes from pale to scarlet. Nkelanta ke konenkrane. Can't. I cannot say it in my own language. There is no word for it. Olanta kenkrili. I decide to create a name for it. Nlaweya.
Tu nous déshabilles. D'abord le haut. Tu t'enlèves. Puis le bas. De moi. Par la fin, tu commences. Avec moi. Tu nous conclus. Avec toi. Tu nous entrouves mes lèvres. Les tiennes me prennent de court. Elles me prennent tout court. Ton vagin m'habite. Mon vagin t'habitue. À nos monts avalés, ton mont m'avalé. Lèvres presque siamoises, ouvertes et fermées. Tu te dresses, je me gonfle. Nos deux secrètes. Une union interstice. Ton vagin s'est perdu dans ma bouche, nous raconte. Commissures ventrèches, gencives écarlates d'un gland doux baiser. Sur ma bouche, ta chatte me gondole. Et pour me faire taire, je nous avale.
Écoute. Écoute bien. Pas dans l'intention de répondre, mais de comprendre. J'ai une animale. C'est une genre de chatte ou amant, un cheval vulve ou un tigre qui fait du burlesque. J'ai un animaux. Il retire ses poils en dansant dans une bibliothèque. J'ai une âme à mal qui aime pleurir, pleurir de joie, pleurir en cascade, pleurir en se souveraillant. Dit-elle, ul, ol, ael, il, d'elle, lui, d'elle et dox. J'ai un corps haut. Mon corps est principalement constitué d'eau. Éclaboussé par le pétrole. Écoute bien. Une clitoris trop grosse, une bite trop petite, un vagin incomplet, des couilles sous-cutanées. Clitoris trop grosse, bite trop petite, vagin incomplet, couilles sous-cutanées. Faut opérer, ben voyons. Trop grosse, trop petite, opérons. Faut opérer, Ben voyons, la femme à barbe, l'homme à chatte, la chienne, mes seins. Mon vagin, mon chatte. Oui, mon chatte. Mon chatte se genre au masculin. Alors, mes seins, oui, mes seins, j'ai des seins. Pas toi? Ben voyons. Écoute. Écoute bien. Pas dans l'intention de répondre. Je suis un homme à chatte. Si tu ne comprends pas ça, j'imagine que tu ne comprends rien à ce que je suis en train de raconter, ni à ce que mon chatte essaye de miauler. Chut, écoute. Fais atterrir doucement le truc dans ton crâne. Mon chatte se genre au masculin. Mon chatte, on a ras-le-bol des gens qui pensent que parce que je suis un homme, moi et mon chatte, on devrait se détester. Pas du tout. Moi et mon chatte, on s'adore. Je l'aime bien, ce petit con. On vit en harmonie, comme on dit. On n'est pas toujours d'accord, évidemment, des fois ça arrive. Hein. On n'a pas toujours le même avis concernant les choix amoureux. C'est vrai, ou pour le programme télé, mon chatte préfère les choses un peu plus, disons, un peu moins chastes. Chut, écoute bien. J'ai une animal. J'ai un animal. J'ai une âme mal. J'ai un corps haut. J'ai une animal. J'ai un animal. J'ai une âme mal. J'ai un corps haut. J'ai une animal. J'ai un animal. J'ai une âme mal. J'ai un corps haut. J'ai une animal. J'ai un animal. J'ai une âme mal. J'ai un corps haut. Mon chat et moi, on s'adore.
Sie ist nicht eigenwillig zu Scham gelegt worden, hat nicht eingewilligt, zu Scham, geschweige denn Schamlippen gelegt zu werden. Sie hat sich damit abgefunden, ja. Scham hat sie gefühlt, aber es ist nicht so schwer gewesen, sie zu verbergen. Sie hat sich dann spät entschieden, sich der Scham anzunähern. In einem Moment, in dem man sagte, dass es keinen Grund mehr gäbe, aus Scham gemacht zu sein, dass nämlich die Schamlippen gar nicht ihr gehörten. Die Scham sei gleich zu verteilen, jetzt zu gleichen Teilen auszubringen, aufnehmen könne, wer sich willig fühle, sie zu tragen für diejenigen, die vormals die Scham zu heimlich trugen. Es trug die Scham, wer sich willig fühlte, dies zu tun, wem die Scham in die Hand gedrückt worden war auch. Aber nicht jed war sich dessen bewusst, die Scham in die Hand gedrückt bekommen zu haben. Wer sie nahm, war selbst schuld, sich dessen nicht bewusst gewesen zu sein. I'm a woman, but I'm not. Je suis une femme, mais je suis pas. Ich bin ein Körper, der in einer Form in Existenz gekommen ist. Ich bin in einer Form in Existenz gekommenes. Je suis une femme, no. Mais je suis une femme, no. Tu es un homme, no. Je suis une femme. Ich habe mich herauslaviert aus dem Frausein, habe ich? Es ist ja von mir selbst doch nie akzeptiert worden, hineinlaviert in etwas Sicheres. Ich bin jetzt keine Form mehr, kein mehr und kein mehr. Ich bin immer noch Körper, bin ich? Hier ist ein Körper, Hier ist ein Körper, in diesem Körper wohnt. Der Körper ist bewohnt von... Ich habe mich nie getraut, als Frau zu sprechen. Jetzt habe ich es kurz gemacht, ich habe das Frausein abgelegt. Der Diskurs hat mir geholfen. Ich habe mich einfach meiner selbst enthoben, meines Selbst. Nicht länger werde ich Frau sein, ich werde sinnstiftend ohne Geschlecht sein. Ich will nicht schlecht sein. Schlecht wollte ich nie sein. Ich habe mir immer Mühe gegeben, lieber Scham zu sein, nicht schlecht zu sein. Ich war schließlich schon ein zu Scham gefaltetes, als ich hier angekommen bin. Zu Scham gefaltet war ich. Alienartig. Les mots. Dicke.
Tu chattes. En flamande, bulle. En chocolat.
Bulle.
En chocolat.
Agueil. L'angoisse.
Schnee.
Un bonus.
Fatal. Schnee.
Cocotte.
Illusioniert.
Cocotte.
Rasierter.
Mouton.
Auster.
Mouton.
Schwammig.
Moi, la femme du mouton catholique du mariage.
Tu es le mouton catholique du mariage.
Je suis le mouton catholique du mariage.
La satiété graisseuse et le mouton cathodique du mariage parce que les corps...
Ton corps cassé.
Mon corps cassé, bourré,
Kaputte Körper vollgestopft mit Tiramisu.
bourrés dans la neige de Palabre.
Ton corps cassé, bourré dans la neige de Calabre.
Schnee von Kalabrien.
L'as de la réduction a une telle as de la séduction.
En auf Verfügung Nadelherz lächelt.
Cœur en aiguille.
Kuh, den Schmerz.
Coucou.
Je me vois.
L'angoisse.
Je me vois.
Die desillusionierte Auster.
Toi, l'huître désabusée.
Schwammig als dicke Puppe.
Die tanzende Wespe est toute
schwammante,
Comme une pupute épaisse.
une cocotte abricot.
Aprikosenfarbene Kokotte rasierter Oktopus.
Guêpe danseuse.
Tausende Wespen.
Un bonus de citron sans cellulite.
Alien artigante.
Alienartig.
Arctique. Une chatte enflammante.
Eine brennende Muschi.
Une bulle en chocolat.
Schokoladenblase. Der Po du Lac Léman freut sich.
le pot du Lémong se réjouit.
Die Haut des Lémansees.
De pouvoir réitérer la rémission fatale.
Die fatale Lähmung wiederholen zu dürfen.
Moi, la femme du mouton catholique du mariage. Ich, die Frau des katholischen Eheschaffs. Les corps cassés, kaputte Körper, bourrés de Tiramisu, neige de Calabre, vollgestopft mit Tiramisu. Schnee von Kalabrien hell. Hass auf Verführung, das Nadelherz lächelt. Näht den Schmerz Coup la Coup. Die desillusionierte, außer schwammig als dicke Puppe. Une cocotte abricot. Aprikosenfarbene Kokotte. Pupute épaisse. Rasierter Oktopus. Guêpe danseuse, tausende Wespen. Un bonus de citron sans cellulite. Une chatte enflammante. Eine brennende Muschi. Une bulle en chocolat, Schokoladenblase. Der Po du Lac Léman freut sich. Die Haut des Lémansees freut sich. Die fatale Lähmung wiederholen zu dürfen. Alienartigant. Alienartig.
This is my power. Hey, 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 this is my power.
Alors là, c'est le moment d'aller aux toilettes, de boire un verre. C'est important pour le bar. It's time to go to the toilet and go to the bar, smoke a cigarette. We'll see each other in 15 minutes. Okay, that's the way we talked. Like there was like one party in French, the other one in English, and the one. Maybe you don't understand this new language, but it's the new Berlin language to come. So if you want to talk with us about what we did, because it was extremely funny and we discovered a lot of things, we will enjoy this after the break.
Very healthy.
Voilà, you pick, you choose. Est-ce que j'ai un stylo? Non, j'ai un stylo. Comme je suis intelligent. You never know.
Ah, c'est bien, t'as le crayon. Ja. Danke, dass ihr geblieben seid. Ich habe eine Frage, j'ai une question. Gibt es Menschen hier, die kein Wort Französisch verstehen oder reden? Ja. Ah, ja, okay. Naja, then we're gonna speak English. We are like stopping on your tongue, and or you, if you want, you can talk French and I translate. We can do this too, because we've been, as I said, speaking 3 languages, and we are exhausted. So, I hope you enjoyed the show. We created it in 1 hour between 5 and 6 today. And so I'm really happy that the 3 people were here, because they are like so made for the scene. And it's also something that was really important for me, as I said, I want to do this. It's a great project for Berlin Inclusive, was to show that literature doesn't belong only in books. It really belongs on stage, and it has to be told, it has to be given. And also, it has to be written on the moment, not 2 years earlier. Because when I come from the theater, and, you know, or for books, you do a production, you have an idea, you do a production, and then you present it, and it's been 2 years in between, and you're like, but the world has changed. Is it relevant in this moment? And should be the same for literature. And literature is so easy. You need a pen, you need paper, or for Jayrôme, you just need a fucking telephone, because Jayrôme, he walks and says a text, and he has a voiceover that put it in words, and then he looked at it and transformed it into a great piece like you heard today. So you don't need anything. So it's really something that can be lived in the moment. And before we start talking together, I just wanted to really thank Lechat, who created this project and gave us the opportunity to do what we did. Because I don't know for you folks, but it doesn't happen so often that we are like giving the chance to work really intensive on a topic as writer 3 days in a row, and just present it and taste it and also reflect with us. And that's really what we would like to do today. It's tonight yet, to learn what you experience, and what it was for you, because it makes us grow in our writing too. So I need to drink water. That's what Jayrôme told us every day. You don't drink enough. No, that's true. You're the most given person, and you said it's really important that we drink more than we think we have to drink. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of context. What do you think? It's a good idea? It's a good idea? A little bit of context, how we... Okay, so the first idea was, personally, because the idea came from me, so I was like, I'm struggling with the word I'm using. I'm struggling with the structure I'm using when I'm writing. And I've been doing this for 8 years, like just looking, searching, but in a way, I always end up being inside the norms. And I have this feeling as a woman writer that I can't just stay in the literature, like what we think is literature, the words, the grammatic, the paper and the pen. I need to get outside of it, and I need to go deep in my body. So when Lechat asked me to do this workshop, I was like, okay, with whom I would like to work with? The first thing was I'd like to work with people I've never worked with. This was really important for me, because when I work with people I know what they think. And so we can't build the right energy for the moment, for this really short time. And then I was like, okay, in the surrounding with people I know the text and or have worked with, who is here. And of course, I thought of Jayrôme pretty much right away, because I've seen it on stage, I've seen what he's doing, I read his books, and I was pretty amazed of the way he made. He's French, you noticed, he doesn't have any accent when he speaks French, but he's also a German writer. He's writing practically exclusively when we're writing romance, and pretty much for spoken word too. German. Yeah, first question. Allez, first question. We're doing this really...
Interactif. Thank you. Actually, I'm writing in German and French, and sometimes I mix both languages. And I would love to write as well in some languages that don't exist yet.
Like Maïmouna when she invented a word for count, for pussy, for vagina, in her language, one of her language. And so, yeah, that was a thing. And also, you've been working for years in the queer spoken word scene. So you have this technique of spoken word, which is really related to body, that really interested me to get a little bit closer. Which tools you're using? Because I thought, oh, I come from theater, so I know everything. Pfft. No, natürlich, ich weiß nicht. And because you're working in the queer scene, which has been clustered, it's like I'm using the exercise we're doing, and it was also related to a feeling that I have. It's like when, as a woman writer, I tried to go out of the box to really break rules and norms. I can't be read. People can't read me. I'm not allowed to do it. They judge me, and so you're like, oh, you belong to the Netzwerk französischsprachige Autorinnen in Berlin, Réseau des Autrices de Berlin. Oh, you feminist, just doing feminist bullshit. And it's not true. I'm just, thinking, asking me questions and trying new ways in my writing. And you are in this scene with doing so much for so many years, but it's also being a little bit on... Do you have the feeling that you have a transparency between the two words, the literature words and the queer literature words? Est-ce que je te l'ai dit en français? Si tu veux, tu peux répondre en français.
Ah oui, je veux bien. En fait, la plupart des gens parlent en français, c'est ça.
La question, c'était est-ce que
You have 2 minutes to learn French.
There is like a huge community.
I had 3 hours to learn twerking. You can learn French in 2 minutes.
Actually, it was just 45 minutes, but it felt like
3
hours.
It felt like 3 days or 3 months.
La question était, est-ce que tu as l'impression que la scène queer dans laquelle tu fais partie, dans le spoken word, est une scène qui est ouverte finalement, toute la scène littéraire berlinoise, ou si ça reste quelque chose qui est quand même à côté, entre l'entre-gens, quoi, l'entre-gens d'une scène, une communauté?
I'm not sure if I can respond in 2 sentences or...
Si tu réponds en français, je traduis si tu veux.
It's not about the language, it's about the content. It's a really broad topic. I would say it's open.
That's not what you say when we're sitting in the park. No, that's not what you say when we were sitting in the park and you were saying. No, when we're talking about the workshops and everything you did, and it was like you tried to bring new ideas in official programs. And it was really bad tech, and you didn't have the opportunity for this.
Yeah. It was more feminist perspectives than queer perspectives, and it was like maybe 15 years ago or something, before my transition. Okay. It was my experiences as doing spoken word or poetry slam in mainstream context, let's say, so non-queer context, and what it means to be a female's body or to be seen as a female on stage. But to be honest, I would say that in the last years, the queer scene / the queer literary scene has a lot of connection with the mainstream scene, beziehungsweise then the mainstream literature scene is opening to queer themes, to queer authors, to queer formats. I don't know how you see it, but I wouldn't say that it's. Je ne dirais pas que les deux scènes sont séparées. It's not two divided scenes. Even I'm researching on queer spoken word, and I have a problem with just really making that two distinct spheres, as if there would be no connection at all. Like for me, there's not something genuine queer space and non-queer spaces, because you never know. Is there some queer person in your audience? You never know.
Yeah.
What is a queer performance? Is it a queer topic? Is it the queer person on stage? So for me, there's a lot of connections with all of those, a lot of layers that lead to the fact that I think things are more connected than we think.
Yeah, and that's, yeah. And I think that the last, you're talking about like right now it's happening, but it was not this, in the freie Szene, in the free scene, there is like this connection. And when we're talking about the publishing world, and it's like changing right now, is opening to this. And that's like really interesting for us, because we say also as women to be able to write some other word, but just not woman, it can be anyone to say, okay, the literature we know can be breakdown, and we can really like go on another way. And then I thought about Saskia. Saskia, I know her from last year. We have this project called Hôtel des Autrices. If you don't know this, I don't know where you were the last 12 months. Attends. Je fais de la pub. And Saskia was one of the first women authors coming to residence, and the first German one. And I was really, really happy I was amazed by her work, what she did in this hotel, and was really fascinated from the character to the figure, from this woman who really have this feeling she controls, but in her text she says something which touches me, will connect to me, and I think I know why. After 3 days together, I discovered why. It was like a Rätsel, and Deutsch, weißt du, Rätsel. Wie Edith Piaf. Ja. Rätsel. And so I wanted to work with her, because she's also have a really interesting way to work, which is body and somatic process in writing. For example, would you want to explain this? You'll explain this way more better than I.
Yeah, so it's for me very much about bringing the body in the writing practice. So it can be through certain practices that coming from yoga, but it can also be movement research. And I think the main theme, a topic for me is, or was always the question, how can I make myself disappear? Because everything I ever tried with my mind, and I very much identified as my mind, did not work. So I had to find a place where... Oh, it's you! Oh! She was teaching us not to disturb by anything. So it worked pretty well. No, you did, right? It worked pretty well. I wasn't disturbed by her.
Yeah, you were.
So yeah, great. Yeah, so for me it's really about how can I, if I have to do a work, it's creating a silent mind, because everything I ever tried with my mind did not work. And this was the way I found to my body as a vessel for another kind of process. And I created last year, it was a kind of COVID project, Wenn, which is a workshop label that's bringing together somatic practices and writing. And we did it this morning. This morning it was kind of a specific way of doing yoga and surrendering.
Maybe can you explain in details what you did? Because it was like a big part of our work was this warm-up.
Yeah, every one of us did a warm-up, and I did it today. It was, you want to really hear, okay, well...
Like the three steps.
The 3 steps, what we did, also the first one, which was
Okay,
we took a piece of paper today, which was an experiment, I never did it, and we wrote down everything we know about ourselves. I am...
No, es war ich bin, je suis.
No, je suis. I am.
Ah, ja.
Je suis.
Which language?
Je suis. Et toi,
Ja.
tu as écrit, du hast geschrieben, she has written...
I know what I wrote. You remember?
Je suis la fille de ma mère.
Non, la fille de.
La fille de.
Punkt.
La fille de. We have written down everything we know about ourselves, and then we have put it aside and went into this practice of yoga, which is a specific, it's coming from yin yoga, so it's really a way of surrendering to the unknown, I would say. So we tried to through this practice, let go of everything we know about ourselves. And I think we did it 35, 40 minutes. It was a lot of pain for...
No, but there's this moment when you say it, surround to your pain.
Say it again?
Surround to your pain. To your pain.
Yeah, I felt it was a lot of pain for you. And I said surrender to your pain and also observe your way of creating resistance by going towards the pain, like I will do it. Or going away, so I wanna get out of the situation, or going against it. I don't wanna like fighting against it. And by the way, I find this very interesting to do this during the yoga practice and then observing ourselves while we're writing, because in writing it's exactly the same. I feel uncomfortable with what I'm doing right now. I go to the fridge, like just a simple example.
Avoiding.
Yeah. Or however
surround
we do
to
it.
the pain. I think when
but surrender to the pain and to the unknown. It's both surrender to the pain and surrender to the unknown. And so we went through this process, and afterwards we did a free writing, like 20 minutes, I guess. And I felt, I don't know how it was for you, because today we hadn't so much time, so we did not really discuss it. But I feel with this practice, I really become empty. I feel like we had this discussion today. It was very interesting. I feel like an empty vessel, and if something wants to show up, it can come through me, but it's really not me doing it. And this is the only way it works for me, because as I said, everything I tried did not work. So, and I feel there is for me no other way to become really silent in my mind than using the body and techniques that are a physical approach in a way. And I really feel so, it's my practice every morning, a physical practice, and then I write, and I really want to share that. This is why I created that label, and I really love to bring this in this space, because it was like so different from what you did yesterday, but it was also a physical approach, and I fell in love with her approach because it was a completely different style, but in the end it's both a new way of, it's a surrendering into the unknown, also that, because it was very uncomfortable for me first. And then by going through that, I can find to a creation I couldn't create from a place that I already know. So I think that's the essence of what I'm interested in. Yeah.
And maybe just a small Ergänzung.
Mais bien sûr.
No, what free writing is you write 20 minutes and you can't left your pen or your finger stop. So if you don't know the word, if you don't know what you were saying, want to structure it, you don't have the place for it. You just have to let it go and follow the flow of what you experience in the yoga session.
You're not allowed to stop writing. You can write, I don't know, I have no fucking idea, I don't want to do this, I want to get out of this situation, but you don't stop writing. It was so interesting. We did not have the space for the text we created today after the practice, but it was such an interesting perspective that came through. So yeah, I really just, I'm amazed by what can happen when I'm not present, you know.
And so the third person, we were supposed to be four. Chloé is not here, so I'm not going to talk about Chloé, but Maïmouna war die dritte. Und sie war auch sofort in meinem Mind, weil wir kennen, das war German also, no?
Not German with me.
There was like a mix or something like this. So it's funny, I'm talking German with you. So we know each other because of your book, because of your incredibly presence, but you're also a member of the Collègue and in the Netzwerk. And I was always, she's someone who say I with proud, who writes. Her book heißt Je me relève. Heißt, das war Deutsch. Ich hab was mit Deutsch mit dir. So she wrote a books chez Anne Carrière, que vous pouvez acheter aux Galeries Lafayette ou chez Zadig ou commander en ligne. C'est bien. And when you read it, I was like, how can she say I like this? Not I. She say je me with reflection, like I am. And I was like, because I have a big problem. I can't write I. I'm searching for my I, and I think it's a lie when I write I. And so I wanted to be confronted with someone who can write I, and we found her I through a body. So always back to the body. And so I was like, okay, come on, baby, join the group with the somatics, the spoken words, and everything. We'll see what's happening. And I was really, really, really happy that you were here, and you killed us. So, okay, maybe I explain what we like every day. We separated the day in two sessions, the morning session, the afternoon session, and before we started writing, every one of us did a warm-up. So you did spoken word. We had to create our own wings, and we did amazing exercise. Saskia taught Fabienne.
Ja, je suis Fabienne.
Das ist Bruno.
Française. Ah oui. Ah.
And Maïmouna, vielleicht, maybe can you explain us what you did? Sorry.
En français, ça va ou en anglais? J'ai fait donc en échauffement, j'ai proposé de la boutique-thérapie. En fait, c'est le fait de bouger ses fesses pour assumer sa part de féminité, pour se débarrasser des traumas, des complexes, des frustrations et pour laisser la puissance originelle s'exprimer. Et je fais ça à travers de la danse, bouger ses fesses, booty shake, twerk. Et plein d'exercices en fait. Il y a plein d'exercices de théâtre que j'ai appris, voilà dans ce que j'ai pu vivre dans ma vie. Et voilà, des exercices de théâtre où je pousse vraiment les gens à se lâcher, à se libérer.
Si tu veux, je traduis juste pour les...
Oui, bien sûr, vas-y.
So, she did a booty therapy training. That's a thing she's doing for last
25 years.
25 years. And it's about to move your pole, your butt, to create a positive energy. So it's on the way a kind of dance, and the other way it is a kind of therapy to really get the trauma out of your system through your pole.
From your pole, and to reconnect with your original power. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Voilà.
And I don't know if you noticed, but I just loved it because the first day we talked about, okay, we watch all the possible grammar there is in the inclusive writing, or all the texts have been done, and like all three, we were like, no, we don't have any choice. We have to go all way non-binary. And then Maïmouna was so, because we read a piece that has Le Manifeste de la Féminine universelle de Tiffen D. And we studied also regs of grammar from Monique Wittig, etc. We were really intelligent the first 4 hours. Then we went to the body. And everyone picked pieces of it. And that's what you see in the vagina monologues. And I was always surprised and actually proud to see that someone said, nay, we're not there yet for non-binary. We still have to, as women, to be present and to show it through the grammatics, through the world, through feminizing the world, and that's what you did. And so I thought it was a great prison because we were like, ein bisschen wie die Schweiz, Switzerland. Yeah, we have to go non-binary because we're like, no, yeah.
It's a little bit under complex because actually it's not about choosing just the non-binary. It's how, if we want to write non-binary, how we do that. It's not about erasing other...
No, but you know, when we read Tiffen D, we were like agreeing that it was going too much in one way and it was not representing the other way. And it was like saying that all men are bad people. And we were talking afterwards about feminine energy inside of us and male energy inside of us and how we work with those two energy when we write. And that's what we mean non-binary. It's like finding the way to connect with those two without being one another. But I find you were right too. It was not, there is like no good choice. We are still all searching.
Yeah, very much. Exactly. Yes. What I was saying to you during those 3 days, it's like I grew up with women, I'm working with women, I'm living with women. I have 2 daughters, I have 8 sisters. My dance company, it's only women. And I have that feeling that the representation of women in the society, in the different societies, African ones, German ones, French ones, American ones, women are not represented in the real way because we have such a amazing power and it's not enough represented. And when I saw, even if she's Tiffen D, even if she's really hard, yeah, for sure. Like, okay, if I want to kill a Finkelkraut, okay, it's, yeah, she has a example very hard. But yeah, for me, I like to speak in the feminine way, to not just masculine. No, we are, yeah. So in English, it doesn't mean anything, but in French, we have. Yeah, everything is in masculine. Most of the things are in masculine. Even if it's you have one. For me, when I was a child, one guy in a group of 30 girls, you have to say il. You have to use the masculine thing, and I was like, what? Inside of me, I was like, shh, what? No. We are 30 women, we are 30 girls. Only one guy we have to say il. No, it's not possible. And so, yeah, Tiffen D, she was like giving me tools. I was, yeah, that's good. That's really good. But more than that, for me, it was one of the part of the exercise during those 3 days. For me, it wasn't the more important. The more important thing, it was to meet those people. Because we are already different. I didn't know you, neither you a little bit, but I discovered you during the booty therapy dance class. Okay. And I'm so happy about what we did on stage together because we don't know each other and each one came with his power and with his or her believings. And when we were talking between us, it was like, okay, I'm not agree with that, and okay, we have to stop, and we are going to understand why you are not agree with that and why we have to do that, and we took that time. We have taken that time. And for me, it's really important. And with Jayrôme, we have a lot of things like, usually when you're with people, you have to be polite and say, okay, yes, I go with you. Okay, no. And most of the time we were like, oh no, I don't like that. I don't want that. And we were like, wow, that's amazing to say it. To be able to say that, I don't like that, I don't want that, I don't believe in that. Because it's like we are in a hypocrisy, dans un monde hypocrite de merde, franchement. Dans un putain de monde de... Oh putain, je vais m'énerver. Je me suis vue en train de bondir. On est dans un putain de monde de merde où on est hypocrite, et puis il faut dire ci, et puis il faut faire sourire comme ça, et puis il faut c'est nanani nanana, et c'est de la merde en fait. Et là, chaque personne là que vous voyez sur scène là, en fait, chaque personne a dit non, moi je suis pas d'accord à ce moment-là. Non, I'm not agree. Yes, I want to do this. Et donner des conseils positifs à l'autre personne en disant mais voilà, parce que moi je vois ça comme ça. Après, on avait aussi le droit de dire j'accepte ou je refuse. Et ok, bah voilà, bah si tu refuses, bah voilà, je te laisse avec le truc, mais moi je continue mon chemin. Et ça, c'est un truc dans toutes les sociétés qu'on n'a pas, quoi.
Voilà. Jayrôme, you wanted to say something.
Yeah. Je te rejoins tout à fait sur le fait qu'une des choses que j'ai adoré, que j'adore et dont je suis vraiment très heureux, c'est de vous avoir rencontré. C'était quelque chose de... Like, I think I cried, I loved, I felt happy, I felt tired, hungry, but we had so much fun. And what you said about like, please don't think that we're saying, no, I don't like that. It was always so sanft, so sweet, so really like trying to make sure, because sometimes, you know, someone is just following the group and everybody is following the group, but actually everybody would like something else and nobody dares to say. So just opening the space for just think, do you really want that? Or do you think the group want that? And I loved the fact that we take this space, this freedom, this to center ourselves and to center others. So for me, just the beginning. We're just like, I want to continue. I love you, I love you, I love you.
There is maybe one moment, because I want you to also tell us what happened. So after the booty therapy, so we started with in the morning with a spoken word work, and we did the cluster. It is the core, the result you see at the end of the performance we did when we did the core and the text. In the afternoon we did the booty therapy, and we tried this form about, you know, what's the name and write about it. So we did two pairs, they worked together, and I worked in Maïmouna, and afterwards we did this setting, so the author on stage, the other one way back, and the two other was just watching. And this situation, this setting, with what we did before, living, like really living a rage out, living boundaries out, like being exhausted, being physically, we had no control more, was for us like a big moment when we really realized a lot of things about our writing, what we wanted to be. And if you don't want to say something about it, I would love to ask the public what they expressed, because it was a big concern for us of this magic that we had the first moment we did it, of with the public here, of we also can live it twice, and what is it for us, for you?
But did you say the author on stage? Because actually the author was the person who was writing, you know, Jayrôme was il a.
That is our 14 hours today of work. So we're like,
Jayrôme, tu as écrit le texte sur moi.
Yeah.
C'était pas mon texte.
No.
It's not. I wasn't.
No, it was paired. Like Maïmouna told me stories about her, asked her questions, told me stories, and I write this. No. And I told her a story about me, and she write this, and the same here.
And we talked about, you was writing about her, and you was giving her the story as a gift in a way, and it was a really touching experience when we yesterday heard it the first time, and I felt like really receiving a gift from you. just really a beautiful moment. So yeah.
Receiving a gift and giving a gift in exchange.
And then it's also, again, we talked about being of service to someone. So the writing is not about us again anymore. So yeah, it was really an interesting change of perspective. And I still today felt very touched by hearing it, you know, because it resonated. It was my story, but you have written it. So very interesting, thing somehow.
So, there are questions or feelings that you expressed or something you want to say? It would help us to be a better writer. Tu sais, ça s'appelle.
Est-ce que quelqu'un veut un donut parce que
On a aussi les donuts. No, ah.
Helps you to be a better writer. First of all, my English is very rotten, so please, you will have to hear it. It's a nice one. By the names, first of all, I really appreciate to see you for staying on the stage and memphing. How you say that? With you, yeah.
Oh, that was an exercise that we did with Jayrôme.
Because you were in silent, and everybody expects authors to be to talk, to be with words, and to sit. And you were staying, and I had such a feeling of power, and it was incredible. I was like, wow. So this was my first impression. Like, I enjoy to see authors not talking, just staying. And the second, of course, names. This is something that probably, as every person, tried to fulfill his name. And maybe as author, artist, you have the power to change your name. But I bet everybody had the power to change his name or to wandern, in between his name, his identities, to play with, because we are more than only one name. And that you put that on stage and with all your biography. And I was thinking, I'm sure I recognized some style, so I knew who, right? So I was very clear at a certain point that you don't write your own name biography, but you get a gift. So I just really felt this moment of you get a gift, someone gave you a gift, and you received it, and it was very beautiful.
Betty, s'il vous plaît.
Applaudissements pour Betty.
Betty, des applaudissements, s'il vous plaît.
Or silent present. No, at the beginning I was like, oh, the poor, she's gonna stay there and we're gonna just do like sport and talk, like, and it was amazing present. I felt really safe with you. You like gave us this gift too. Yeah. Is there a question from the public? Do you want to know, like, the insight or something?
I don't have a question, but I just want to express my astonishment because, like, I mean, you guys were working really hard and quite successfully from my perspective, because, like, coming up with that show after 3 days is really incredible. So we are, like, as Lechat, we're really blessed to have you guys.
Well, thank you, Tom. We're here because of you.
I'm just a happy guy. So, yeah, once again, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe to finish, just to finish, I say the small story about last night because I wanted. Okay, so yesterday was a really long day. We did so much physically and we wrote so much. And it was 7 o'clock in the evening. We all wanted to go home. We didn't want to go home, I think, but the family or the thing we had to do wanted us to go home. And we were like talking here and laughing and laughing and laughing. Like we were like crying, laughing. And then Saskia was like, I'm becoming Fabienne. I'm no longer Saskia, and I'm gonna do booty therapy. And then she went home and brought this amazing texts that you heard today. It was the second one, the last one. No, the second one.
And third. The second one was in the morning, but I worked on it in the evening. And the
second one.
No, the first one.
No, the first one. The first one she read in French.
First one. Yeah.
In French, because we were like, we just worked like 12 hours. She said, okay, we go home. We have to wash our black clothes because she made us wear black. Yeah, I must say, because Maïmouna say you have to respect the stage. You don't go with your.
She
we were
gave
like we go
us
with jogging.
that gift to not think so much about this, but to have like a focus and a team spirit. I loved it. Thank you.
She reminded us the really important things, and then
she said the stage is sacred. And I really love that.
Yeah, and that's true.
It's true. Thank you.
And so we all went home and decided to write another piece in another language, and because we didn't have enough, and just like I think we all spent the night just thinking about what happened and having creativity and work weiter. So it was So we had just 4 monologues, and this morning we had 9 of it. So it was like, okay, let's go. So thank you all. We had a great time, and maybe we see us another time for the new adventure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delphine, for making that happen. And
Pour Delphine, s'il vous plaît!
Berlin Inclusive, Betty, Lettrage, Accoud. Thank you. We love you. Thank you all.